cloud vortex. The sun is going down. It's dusk. I love it when that shit happens. I was thinking about the lessons that I've learned working in the restaurant industry. I really think that restaurant work has helped me overcome borderline personality disorder. I have a theory that all women have this in some form or fashion. Whether they have the externalized version of it, which is the classic borderline personality, or they have the internalized version, which is the quiet borderline personality, more closely associated with cluster A than cluster B. So that's the schizophrenia spectrum. Whenever you have an extremely internalized experience, you have no choice but to externalize it, which is why we talk to ourselves all the time. This is a running joke for my fellow coworkers. They always want to know what I'm talking about, and I'm like, no you don't. No you don't. You don't want in on this seminar. It's a seminar where I can't stay on topic. So I suppose it would be like the most interesting seminar, but it would probably give people in attendance a headache unless they were smoking weed. Maybe if they were smoking weed, they would like it. But it's really hard for people to keep up with me. Like, I was telling my coworkers some of the jokes that I did the other night, and they didn't get them. So, like, I had to explain them, and they were like, oh, yeah, that is funny. And you can't do that with every joke, especially when you got 4 minutes. You know? It sucks. So I'm trying to, like, figure out what I'm going to talk about tonight. But I'm not as confident this time, so maybe it'll be better. Because when I'm overly confident, it usually doesn't work in my favor. I mean, I still really like my set, but the response from the audience was very good. You know, I was watching it though, and I thought I did a lot better than John thought, but John was just offended because I didn't deliver the way that he had anticipated, because he thinks very highly of me. But I'm also a woman, and I think that it's really, really hard for females to be funny. It's hard for that to translate, and you don't really have like female comics that are like, you know, Andy Kaufman, because women want to fit in, and that's another thing I was thinking about in regards to the restaurant industry, like people pleasing. Like, it used to really, really bother me when people were mad at me. But now, because I understand myself, if you understand yourself, you'll understand the world that you live in. You study mental illness, you'll really, really understand America. You'll understand why everybody's so stupid. You'll understand why people play the victim all the time. Why they can't wait to take out all their problems on somebody else that ain't got shit to do with. And it's like, if they ain't taking shit out on you, you're gonna know all about their grievances with everybody else, whether you want to or not. But I used to really be bothered, you know, if somebody was upset with me, whether the reason why they were upset was valid or not, you know. Used to eat at me. But now, like, I don't really care what people think in that regard. You know, not enough to change my behavior, rather. It's not like I don't care at all, but I'm not gonna, like, you know, switch everything I'm doing all to accommodate some fucking asshole. I mean, the thing is, the people that you're trying to please ain't gonna be satisfied with it anyway. I promise. Everybody has borderline personality disorder. Like I said, everybody's a woman. Everybody's a woman. You know, this friend of mine, she's got it, but she's got some self-awareness, so it's like, every time she gets mad, most of the time she ain't mad at me, but she takes it out on me because she knows that I'm not gonna, like, fight back, because I'm just not wasting my time getting into an argument with her, because it's just stupid, you know. It's petty, trivial shit that happens all the time, you know, like people call out and they don't work the way that they should. You know, there are plenty of people that can work, they just choose not to. And that's not just showing up, it's like when they show up, they don't live up to their potential. And that's really annoying to somebody that knows what their potential is. Like, she's got mad at me for being lazy. And I'm usually not, but every once in a while I just don't feel like being there. But she was so pissed at me, she didn't talk to me all day. She didn't talk to me until she just had to show me a TikTok video. Some conspiratorial shit. So maybe I should thank China for bringing us back together. But anyway, yeah, like, she's self-aware, but it, like, takes her a while sometimes because she's, like, got anger issues. But it's usually about, like, 45 minutes. And then she realizes that, like, I listen to her more than anybody else. And then she gets over, like, whatever tizzy she was in. But it's like something else I figured out. You know, and this is just through drive-through service. Most of the time when people are mad at you, they're never mad about the situation at hand. It's always something else that's triggering them. Something underlying the surface. Thank you for the turn signal. We love you, Ultima. But yeah, once you realize that, you don't take things personally anymore. So if somebody takes something out on you, it's like, if they get over it, cool. If they don't, cool. I don't need them to apologize. I already forgive them. Because I understand the world. I understand personality disorders. I understand just the nature of humanity. But I also learned from immigrants to just come in, do my scheduled time. Well, late. Of course, I'm always late. Everybody's late. All the immigrants are late. Everybody's fucking late. At this particular job. But, that's why I say you gotta be black to work there. It's like, you either gotta be actually black or, you know, internally black. But externally, internally, literally or metaphorically, figuratively, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I learned to just get in, get out, do my time, get out. I did what I was supposed to do, now I'm leaving. It's like, I used to stick around like way past my scheduled time. And it wasn't just because I was 2 hours late. It was because, you know, I sought an identity in my job. And, you know, I don't have to do that anymore. And I also think it's because of a lot of the weed that I was smoking. Because it just made me understand that more. Like, I'm not my job. But, you know, for a lot of people there, like, they get mad, you know, when you leave and go do stand-up comedy rather than stay because somebody called out. You know, like, they kind of, like, expect that. They expect you to stay. But it's like, dude, I got plans, man. I got plans. But, you know, it's good to have a life outside of your work. It's good to have other things going for you. And I want that for them, you know, like I hope that they do something else besides just work at that dump site. But, you know, like, and I love my job, by the way. When I say dump site, like I don't mean it in a negative. I know it sounds like that, but like I really appreciate it. I mean, I think having a shitty job is a good thing. I think the shittier the job, the more it teaches you and the more it humbles you and the less concerned you are about petty shit. But I realized I'm really the only person, I mean, I don't want to say that, but I feel like your experience is only valuable if you learn from it. And I don't think that people are paying much attention to anything. It has everything to do with the phones, like I've said, the technology, man. People just have no idea how much it's really destroying. Like, I was thinking about how, you know, that job used to be so crazy. And like, one of the dudes I work with from Cuba, he's worked at Steak and Shake for a long time as well. And we were both just talking about how crazy it used to be. All the time, 24 hours. And you'd have maybe 2 people working. Oh shit. Did I just hit something? Yeah, you did. It's okay. Thelonious, we'll get over it. That's my car. That's the name of my car. Thelonious Monk. Jazz musician. Anyway. Yeah, so we were talking about how, yeah, it used to be so loco. And we were so understaffed all the time. But things have gotten a lot smoother. And yet, it has spoiled everybody, you know? Like, you really understand how good of a worker you really are when you're under pressure. And you're pushed to your limit. Like, that limit just keeps expanding, you know? Like, and that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. It makes you resilient. It makes you learn how to multitask. It enables you to work harder and harder and faster, and like, you're just not giving a fuck, you know? Like, about anything else. You're just in that work mode. And like, they know that when we're in the middle of a rush, you know, we just get through it. And that's what makes that place so valuable. Because it's like, there's hardly a worker at Steak and Shake that does not know how to fucking work. And I'm talking like 5 Mexicans. Alright? Like, we know how to keep it going. And all this stuff that you see right now, like people being all lethargic and shit, I mean, there's so many people that would attempt to work there and they couldn't even last 2 days, dude. Because it was so crazy. It was like boot camp. Like restaurant boot camp. That's why I say everybody's crazy that works there. But Like, the crazy people were the ones that handled COVID just fine. Crazy people can handle, like, PTSD-related stress. Whereas I think that, like, people that just, they're not psychologically equipped to be able to deal with that. But just working in fast food for 15 years, but especially Steak and Shake on and off for 10 years, it's like it's trained me to just be able to multitask out the ass, pick up the pace. You know, it's like, you know, whenever you get hit with a massive rush, it's like a lot of times people will just freak out. Like, they'll see the screen and just freak out. It's like, no, dude, that's not the answer. You gotta accommodate. You gotta pivot. You know, you gotta learn how to, I don't really know how to say it, but like, get into a groove. If you get into a groove, then it's like it turns into a dance. It turns into, like, you know, a game. If you turn it into a game, you'll fucking win, you know? So, like, you know, if you see a bunch of orders pop up, you just go, okay, I gotta work a little faster. You know, it's like, I think that, yeah, not being open 24 hours is yeah, it's really spoiled everybody, because they don't remember. And like with the smartphones, like, it's zapped their memory, so they don't remember back when it was like crazy busy all the time, and we only had just a couple people working, and everybody had to do everything, and we really had to have each other's backs, you know? But everybody's super tight there, you know? And like, there are a bunch of people that have said that, you know, like, this is a really cool job. Like, this is the only place where I've seen, like, people work like that. No drama. I mean, there is drama, but it's very minimal compared to other places. Mainly, it's like I said, you have to have actual melanin or invisible melanin. So, whatever you want to say, you say it straight to somebody's face. You don't do this fucking, I'm going to go online and tear you apart, or I'm just going to go over here in the corner and talk a bunch of shit about you like a 7th grade girl. You know? I fucking hate that shit. I hate that shit. And I see that in the comedy scene in Nashville. And obviously, you know, on the internet. It's just so stupid. Everybody's such a fucking idiot. They're so dramatic. They're so whiny. So they've infantilized people to the point of no return, but not without their full consent. They couldn't wait to be dumbed down. They couldn't wait to be retarded. But hey, at least we got Dancer right. It looks like it says danger. I'm gonna use him in my set. But anyway, oh man, that was like 20 minutes. I didn't expect that to be so long, but oh well. I feel like I say some pretty profound things, and if I don't, sorry. I guess there's plenty of other shit you can watch that's so profound, right? It's either enlightening or darkening, but it's definitely unique. I know that there's nobody like me doing shit on the internet. Like, there's no other channel like this one.